Hey there guys, welcome to another action figure review, and today we shall be looking at the Marvel Legends series cable, the one that came out. This kind of older figure back from the era of windowless packaging, Marvel's The Orb, and of course newly released from the Iron Man retro series based off the cartoon She-Hulk. Yeah, let's get started with these action figures and let me open them all up. Let me just set up my camera first. Alright. So, I know I keep saying it. I've actually done some more videos and I just haven't uploaded them. I haven't uploaded anything, to be quite honest with you. And that's not to say they'll never be uploaded. I'm pretty sure sometime down the line I'm gonna post those videos. But yeah, I kind of have a backlog right now, and I just hasn't felt right to upload them. I don't know why. But maybe this is gonna be the first video that you're gonna see, and then you're gonna see my hair get progressively shorter when I upload older videos, or then unless I cut it or something. I don't know. But yeah, regardless, you're gonna see like a lot of videos, and they're just gonna be jumping around between different time eras across a span of a few months. But we'll see which is the first video that gets released. I'm pretty sure that I might end up releasing this one first. But I guess we'll figure out how we cross that bridge when we get to it, you know. Anyways, Marvel's The Orb from the Puff Adder Build-A-Figure series. This is just a figure that caught my eye. To be quite honest with you, I'm not really quite familiar with the character in the comics. He looks like literally a giant eyeball with like an Evel Knievel suit. I think he even has like the motorcycle for like Evel Knievel right there. So I think he's a villain. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure there would be no other reason why he wouldn't be, because I mean, look, it's like, oh, Ultimate Captain America, Wonder Man, Yelena Belova, Baron von Strucker, Molecule Man. Good assortment of heroes and villains, but I know which ones are heroes and I know which ones are villains, and to be quite honest, this Orb fella looks more like a villain than a hero, but I don't know. Anyways, let's get him out. Here is the Puff Adder piece, and it's an arm, and I guess this is the Orb's gun right here. And oh wow, and Puff Adder actually came with alternate hands. That's pretty cool. Hulk hands. Okay, and I guess the figure should be here next, and yes, he is. And wow, this eyeball has a really glossy finish to it. Yeah, so the eyeball has a glossy finish. That caught me by surprise. The eye can actually look up, can actually look down and up pretty decently, ironically. Reminds me of that like enemy from Super Mario 64. I think it was only in 64, right? The one that you just make it spin and then like a red coin would pop out or whatever. But yeah, I pinned body. I think this is, yeah, this is definitely the Bucky cap, the old Bucky cap, Buck. So yeah, like I guess it's an older figure. They're just trying to get as much as they can out of the Buck before they discontinue it for good. So it's just gonna, and it even has like the little boots, like the Bucky cap boots and stuff like that, which of course you could turn. It has a cut right there, hinge on the legs, rocker of course, double jointed knees, thigh cut, the eyeball can stretch pretty well, waist cut, ab crunch pretty well, bicep cut, double jointed elbows I should say, and glove, not so much a glove cut, but this thing just rotates on its, you know, it just rotates around, but it doesn't seem to like, it gives the illusion of movement, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And of course, rotation at the wrist as well, and a hinge. And yeah, I mean, I do like the eye, the coloring on the eye. Ooh, it's sculpted on. That's pretty gross. That's pretty gross. It actually reminds me of, first of all, I'm not a serial killer, but it actually reminds me of like my 9th grade biology class. Like they made us dissect an eyeball, like a cow eyeball. And I remember I kept the cornea in a jar in my bathroom for like years after it. I eventually threw it out because I'm not a psychopath. I hope so. But yeah, regardless. Yeah, I kept that cornea, like literally because they made us dissect the cow eyeball, and then, you know. But yeah, I remember I kept that memento. I don't know if it was 9th. It was either 9th or 10th grade, because for some odd reason my biology teacher was the same guy for both those years. But yeah. Anyways, let me see. Oh, and the eyeball can pop off, so you could actually put it on other characters, which you know, if you're into that whole whoa, I get, oh. Not only can you pop his head off, you could also pop his collar. He's been popping his collar, popping his collar, popping his collar. So yeah, you could do like, I don't know. You could always do like what is that type of artwork? Surrealist artwork, you know. Get like a pinup model and then just put like this eyeball on it, you know. Yes, I swear I'm not a serial killer, okay? Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on to the next figure. He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. And the fact that I actually didn't have to pay full price for him, I ended up buying him on clearance for like 15 bucks. More than help increase the grade on him. He's definitely an 8 out of 10 figure for me. Yeah, I'm okay with the lack of accessories. You know, just this little eyeball gun. I don't know if it shoots eyeballs at you or something, but regardless. We're moving on to the next figure in the collection, and I think it's gonna be the Iron Man Retro Wave She-Hulk, and beautiful packaging as always. Ingenious use of the packaging. Look, her legs literally hit the bottom of the, I don't even think the Apocalypse Deluxe figure did that, but literally it's like she's taking up all the space that she can on the packaging. And I really love this. I really love like how her boots literally, it almost fits her character, because she's a character even before Deadpool that's well versed in like breaking the fourth wall. So and she was a prominent character in the Iron Man cartoon series, which was kind of weird because that cartoon series like featured a big cast of like Avengers and like just Marvel characters, more so than any other cartoon. It seemed like every other cartoon was standalone. You would have the occasional crossover episode, you know, like Spider-Man and the X-Men, but for the most part they were kind of their own universes, which of course brings up a whole it's a whole can of worms that I've actually been talking to with my nephew about. It's like, how are they gonna, like, because X-Men 97, if you guys haven't seen it, and it's already been out for a couple of months, so you guys probably should have seen it, because I'm gonna spoil it for you guys. But like X-Men 90, not major spoilers, but like X-Men 97 features a buttload of Marvel Universe characters and villains. It's exactly how they would look in the 90s, you know, exactly how they looked in a certain fighting game that's coming out, you know. Maybe you could see the arcade machine. No, you can't see the arcade machine. It's like, it would be like somewhere. Oh yeah, you could probably make it out right there. Maybe, I don't know. No, you can't see it. Okay. Anyways, but so yeah, it's like literally 90s Marvel, and it's featured there. But like, if you actually followed the cartoon series, you would see that it contradicts a lot, because a lot of those characters aren't supposed to be there at that present time and moment, or that moment and time. There you go. I said it right now. But yeah, so it just opens up a whole big can of worms. Like, where does the continuity sit with all these universes? You know, especially with like Iron Man, and technically Iron Man and Captain America have not met. They have not met in the sense they should have not met, other than the Battle World series that should be taking place in the Spider-Man cartoon series around the same time X-Men 97, if you're really counting, if you're really going by it year by year. You know, it's like Battle World is taking place at the same time as X-Men 97, and yet Storm is there, and Storm has her hair and her full head of hair, like she hasn't shaved it off yet, or she hasn't cut it off yet, I should say. So it's like it's a big mess. It's a big mess. So you know, I do hope they figure out a way to rectify that. I know I'm pretty much going on a different tangent. I should be talking about She-Hulk and how amazing she looks just based off the packaging alone. And of course, she has a little bio in the back, and it says, with incredible strength and a passion for justice, Jennifer Walters fights evil as both a lawyers fight evil, and the gamma-powered superhero She-Hulk. And avec sa force incroyable es pasión por la justicia. Mit unglaublich starke en Jennifer Walters lucha contra el mal con una fuerza increíble y una pasión por la justicia. Jennifer Walters lucha contra el mal como abogada y como la superheroína con poder gamma, She-Hulk. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, I'm happy with the purchase. How am I gonna get her out now? I'm kind of worried. I might end up cutting her now. This might be one of those rare times in which I'm gonna have to ruin the packaging. But a little bit of minor details on the figure. This is definitely based off like late 80s, early 90s She-Hulk, which is pretty much that was pretty much the creation of John Byrne. I know other writers took over from him afterwards, because John Byrne pretty much kept fighting with Marvel Studios. And if you guys want to know who John Byrne is, he's literally Ego the Living Planet if it was a comic book writer. Great guy, great guy in the sense of like writing comics, but he is kind of known for having a huge ego. But he wrote really great Fantastic Four. He was pretty much the catalyst for like fixing the continuity of Superman. And of course he wrote She-Hulk, and he kind of like was the reason we had this fourth wall breaking character, you know, and that acknowledged that readers just want to see her jump rope with no clothes, because you know. Anyways, but yeah, let's open her up. Stiff, that's what she said. Okay. Oh, I guess I'm not gonna struggle because I already got her out of the packaging. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, her head popped off. Right off the bat, my God, she's a Goliath. Wow. No wonder they had to like squeeze her in the packaging, because she was already like stretching and like bending right here. Yeah. Oh, like let's do a size comparison with poor Orb. He's gonna die due to snoo, you know? It's like, holy crap. She is huge. And you know what? Despite the sculpted hair, she could actually look up and down pretty decently. She could rotate at the... She has a diaphragm. She has... Oh, this is gonna suck, because I was very impressed with this figure, but this is gonna suck. But she has no waist cut. No waist cut at all. That sucks. That really sucks. Diaphragm joint, and to be honest, the ab isn't the best on it either. It kind of sucks. No butterfly joints either. She is pinless, however. Bicep cut, double jointed elbows, wrist rotation, of course a hinge on the wrist. She does come with alternate hands. These are open hands, but she also comes with fisted hands. Let's see. She could do the splits pretty well, which might come in handy if she's doing jump rope with no clothes on. Anyways, double jointed knees, boot cut. Her head keeps popping up, and I don't know if it's due to the heat. I don't know if you guys could tell, due to like my hair being all frizzed out, that it's actually been pretty hot now. It's, you know, it's the beginning of summer, the best season ever, you know, of the year at least. But yeah, anyways, boot cut, hinge on the foot, ankle rocker. And you know what? I saw a lot of people complain about how her knees were different colored. And yeah, like you could see it here, like you could see it on the camera. Like that's the weird part. Like I guess the camera is picking out like the different shades of green on her knees and like the rest of her body, but in person when I'm looking at her, it's very minimal. You can't really tell unless, I don't know if maybe it's the fact that the camera's capturing the different type of spectrum that on the like color spectrum that my eye can't, you know, because I look at it and it looks fair and even, but you could definitely see the different shading on camera, which is kind of weird. You know, that's kind of strange. I don't know if it's radioactive. I don't know if it's really painted with radioactive gamma ray paint or something, you know, but yeah, I really like the figure. I think it's time that I'm gonna retire this She-Hulk. This was the She-Hulk that I owned for the longest time. This is actually one of the better Hasbro Legends She-Hulks out, and of course this is based off a much more modern attire. This is pretty much like her, how she looks in like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you know, and this is how she would actually look like it had she came out like in Marvel vs. Capcom 1 or 2, you know. But comparisons aside, it's kind of weird. They both lack the one thing. I would have said this She-Hulk was better unanimously had she had a waist cut, but she doesn't even have a waist cut either. She at least she has a diaphragm, because this one just has a crunch, an ab crunch. She can't even turn at all, you know, nothing there. And she has like really weird single jointed elbows. Like they kind of like bend both ways. Like they obviously bend more forward, but then they even bend a bit back, like if you're trying to like get her in an arm bar or something, you know. And she does suffer from like the awkward, weird Toy Biz Marvel Legends like ball joints, you know, that obviously would give her better range of motion, but at the same time it came at some cost, and like these angular kind of like not like straight cuts on her thighs, which I mean works for some characters, but it doesn't work for a lot of characters, you know. I think they do work on her, but they wouldn't work on like, let's say like a Jean Grey from the era, you know, being made like that. Double jointed knees, surprisingly. These more athletic shoes rather than like the superheroic boots. No rocker, but they do rotate and they do have a hinge. Ditto for her hands. I mean, proportion wise, you guys be the judge, I guess. This one, let me see. Yeah, I still think the new She-Hulk is slightly taller, right? Slightly taller. Now Kith, okay. But yeah, I think this She-Hulk is slightly taller. Just slightly. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's the hair. You know, maybe it's the hair. But yeah. I think they've definitely done vast improvements. I skipped over a lot of the other She-Hulks that have been released, like the Savage one really didn't catch my eye. I think this one's a fair substitute. I really like this one. I might even keep her around if I don't see them ever coming out with like this attire. I'm pretty sure I actually do own another She-Hulk from like the A-Force, but I've never gotten her out. I mean, I could scope it out for you guys, you know, but yeah, so see, so here's the A-Force She-Hulk, and as you can see, it's a product of her time. It is a product of her time, and it's funny how like her skin tone is much more closer to like the other Legend, like the older Legend. It's actually a bit darker green. It's still not there though. I feel like if they were to release a She-Hulk again, like in this attire, I would still just keep the one with this attire. I really wouldn't go. I think I would have to see like this kind of like skin tone and like kind of like this effort of like this She-Hulk onto like this one's attire. Maybe even then, I don't know. Maybe I just might end up keeping this one. But the accessory, like the only accessory that She-Hulk came is like with this like bent gun, because obviously she doesn't believe in war. She's a lawyer, you know. So I've seen a lot of people like I think it was even like the Hasbro people, like they like to pose her like pretty much like bending it like across her back or something, you know, or just like crushing it with like one hand or something. But yeah, it's a decent accessory, but you know, I mean, I wasn't asking for much. It's a retro carded series, but all in all, this She-Hulk would have been a 9 out of 10 had she came with a waist cut. I could only give her then an 8.5 out of 10. She is more than worth the purchase if she's your first She-Hulk figure. Guaranteed, worth the purchase. All right, and that does it. We're moving on to our main event, and that is Cable. You know what? Let's get the Marvel machine out now. Bam, bam. See? Yeah, they barely announced that collection a few days ago, so I'm pretty stoked. I mean, I know I emulate the game already as it is. But still, it's always fun to have like new stuff come out, because I always see it this way. Like, I emulate the game, but I do look forward to them releasing it again to test the waters out, because I think that's something that Capcom has proven, that if people show up, they put out new stuff, you know. And I wouldn't mind seeing a Marvel vs. Capcom 4, and I'm pretty sure the sales, it will depend on the sales of like this collection, you know, of like the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. Like, if they see that the sales are high for it, they're gonna definitely go into production for a Marvel vs. Capcom 4, because I mean, we can't have fucking what was it, Infinity or whatever, Infinite, be like the last game in the series, you know. We just can't, with like those weird looking like face sculpts on like Ryu, and you know, like no. Anywho, this is of course the Build-A-Figure Marvel Zabu, which is of course the Taiga. And now this is a really strange assortment of characters. I think they just threw everyone on, you know, just, you know what, let's just throw a bunch of figures, you know. And yeah, I'm kind of confused too as to why they just decided to just throw everything but the kitchen sink in regards to characters, because we have Superior Iron Man, we have Black Winter, we have Wolfsbane, we have Kazar, we have the Red Widow, we have Icarus and Cable. I would definitely like to see someone make a connection between all these characters, other than their Build-A-Figure as Zabu, of course. But of course, Cable travels back through time from a dystopian future to help the X-Men as an enhanced telekinetic mutant. And that's something that blew my mind, by the way, folks. That's something that blew my mind. The fact that I had forgotten that the cartoon is so old that they never even showed the reveal of Cable being Cyclops' son. That's something that was shown in the comic books, and they did show Cable in the original 92 series, but they never actually revealed. It's like, it's something that's such common knowledge now, and it's like, what the heck? They never made a they never actually made a story arc in which he actually revealed himself to be the son of Cyclops. And well, you know, it's Madeline Pryor, but it's pretty much Jean Grey. It's pretty much Jean Grey. It's a clone. I know it's a clone, but they both share the same memories, and that's her son. At least that's what Jean Grey said, you know. Is that a siren? That was a siren, but that was like a creepy fucking Silent Hill siren, like woo. Anyways, so yeah, Cable voya dansle passer a partir, Cable is ein seiner dystopic Zuffing in der Zeit zurück. Cable viaja al pasado desde un futuro distópico para ayudar a los X-Men como un mutante telekinético mejorado. Okay. Like the packaging, like the artwork, and yeah, let's take a good look at Cable now. Let's open him up. Of course, he comes with two guns. He comes with two guns, and of course a tiger palm. And alternate hands. They're both trigger hands. One fisted hand and one open hand. Okay. And let's see. Damn. And not. This is literally straight out of like the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 artwork. You know. Whoa. I kicked it. But anyways, this is literally something like out of the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 artwork. Right down to like the glowing like ping thing right there. You know. he seems to have everything that I would have asked for articulation wise. Butterfly joints, I mean, he's a big burly character. He doesn't need to be doing butterfly joint poses, you know. Double jointed elbows. It's so weird though. It's so weird. He has pins. Obviously the metal arm is pinless, but he has pins. Literally everything on him, everything on him is pinless except for this hand. That is so weird. His legs are pinless. What would it hurt them just to make this pinless? Come on, man. Oh man. He looks up really good. He looks down really good. Ab crunch, waist cut, thigh cuts, and the pouches, of course, the Liefeld pouches cover it up pretty well. Double jointed knees, which by the way, once again, like this pad covers it up pretty well. Boot cuts, hinge, rocker, the whole shebang. Hinge, bicep. It's so weird. It's so weird. This is literally the only pins he has. Like, was this really a cost-cutting measure or something? Like, what the heck? What the heck? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Anyways, I don't think this is removable, but that's okay. I wouldn't have killed him to throw in an extra like head sculpt. Matter of fact, I would have, if it were up to me, I would have made Superior Iron Man like the guy that would have his leg, if it meant that I could get Cable with an extra head sculpt and he's like the one without a bat figure. Everyone was gonna pick this figure up, you know? Everyone that wanted to expand their Marvel Legends collection was gonna pick this figure up. Even non X-Men, like diehard X-Men fans were gonna pick this figure up if they're just fans of like the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 game, you know? But of course, he gets to replace a Cable that I've long held because they finally made him in this blue and yellow attire. It's time to retire my old Toy Biz that literally looks like the bad guy from like Small Soldiers, you know? Or he's technically supposed to be the good guy, but he's the bad guy. He literally looks like the you know, like the captain from like Small Soldiers. And don't get me wrong, he was a great figure for his time. He was a great figure for his time. But yes, he did badly date, or like throughout the years, he did badly get dated. You know, these blue veins weren't just gonna cut it anymore, brother. This weird part that obviously was there to hold like his shoulder pads is not gonna cut it either. And just like the awkward like ball joints, you know, I'll admit it, sometimes figures need to be replaced, and I try to hold on to this figure for as long as possible. And I'm definitely going to still hold on to him because he is a relic of his time. But they've just outdone themselves with this. They have outdone themselves with this. But I do want to test one thing out, because I mean, he did come with the guns, and that's fine. Let's see the shoulder pads that come with the Toy Biz Cable figure. Let's see how they look on him. Hey, not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. I like it. I like it. So, oh man. Incredible. Incredible. I'm going to be picky. I'm really going to be picky. He also would have been a 9. He also would have been a 9 figure. This ruined it for him, unfortunately. All I could give him is an 8.5 out of 10. And I guess that's all I got to say about that. So yeah, thanks guys. I'm pretty happy with my action figure purchases. Especially like what the fuck? What the fuck? This, like, this is you, and this is the guy she tells you not to worry about, you know? Like, this one is a decent competition. I'm not gonna lie, this one's a decent competition, but this guy just blows them out of the water. Come on. But yeah, anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Next time, we'll see when this video gets uploaded, if ever. I'm kidding, it will get uploaded. eventually. But yeah, whenever you guys see this, thanks again. Peace and love like always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.